Welcome to the NfQuery demonstration. There are three domains involved in this scenario, namely ULAKBIM, DFN, and GAR. Components of the scenario are a GEANT query server, a DFN honeypot, an attacker in ULAKBIM, and NfQuery plugins in ULAKBIM and GAR. We'll begin with the setup phase. First of all, the query server is activated. After the query server is up and running, NfQuery plugins in ULAKBIM and GAR, which are already registered to the GEANT query server, will be activated via the command line. When the development of NfQuery is finalized, all these steps will be done via a graphical user interface. Now we're ready to start. In this scenario, the attacker A, under the ULAKBIM domain, launches an attack to port 4101 of 3 targets. A simple script is used to realize this attack. One of the targets is a web server in DFN, which is actually a fake web server emulated by the DFN honeypot. This connection has been logged by the honeypot as shown. The DFN honeypot has already been included as a source in the query server, so the query server receives these logs periodically and passes the log file to generate queries about the attacks captured by the honeypot. The query server checks the attacker's IP address and finds out that the attacker is from the ULAKBIM, a registered domain, so the query server sends an alert to the ULAKBIM NfQuery plugin to run the related queries. The ULAKBIM NfQuery plugin fetches query packets from the query server and applies them to their aggregated NetFlow data. The results of the query execution include an IP address from GAR, which is also a registered domain to the same query server. This means possible multi-domain malicious activity in the GEANT network. Therefore, the ULAKBIM NfQuery plugin immediately informs the query server about the possible malicious activity, including GAR. The query server sends an alert to the GAR NfQuery plugin. The GAR NfQuery plugin runs these queries and becomes aware of malicious activity against Node C under its domain. This is achieved by the NfQuery framework, which enables processing of already available information in the GEANT network and sharing the findings of participating domains while preserving their privacy.